G'day guys, Solid here and welcome back to the garage, and that means viewer questions. So I've put together the best and most interesting and some cheeky questions from this month, and we're going to dive into them straight after the intro. So let's get into it. So the first question is in response to my KLR650 jest last week, where I said KLR owners are a little on the cheap side. So Greased Brick here is saying he can't believe I'm inferring that KLR owners are cheap. This is a bit tongue-in-cheek because he then goes to say, I'm sitting in my shed looking at mine with its new bike cover / old sheet held up by its bike stand, old pallet. Thrifty, yeah, thrifty is a better way of referring to a KLR owner. Well, if you like thrifty, then I'll go with that from here on out. But then Tommy Nitro comes in for the kill and he says the only thing cheaper than a KLR is its owner. So well said there, mate. I don't think I need to say much else other than I do love KLR 650s and their owners. I'm just making fun because it's good to have a laugh every now and then. So on to the next question. The next comment is from Clifford Wheeler, and I'm just bringing this one up so I can talk about what bikes are and are not in my garage at the moment, just to keep you updated. So Clifford Wheeler's complimenting me on my V-Star 1300 review, so thanks mate, and he's really loving his 2012. They're a fantastic bike. Unfortunately, I no longer own mine. I sold it a couple of weeks ago to a subscriber. You know who you are. He's an absolutely awesome bloke, and it's in a good home, so that's all I'm going to say about that. No motorcycles at the moment. I really don't know what to do with myself, so anyone that's been in my position with a garage that's far too empty, let me know in the comment section down below. So the next comment is from Tom Baker, and I really don't know what to do with this one, but it did give me a chuckle. He said, dude, you've got to reel in your bottom lip. Well, there's not much I can do about it, mate, and there's not much you can do about it either. So you're either going to have to suck it up or just live with the videos with my big fat lip in them. Anyway, on to the next one. So the next question is from Lone Wolf. He's put in quite a few questions and they've come up in the videos a few times from you. So thanks for your great questions, mate. You always do post up some interesting topics that make really good video content. As always, a very solid video, so cheers, mate. What are your thoughts if we look from now into the future regarding the middleweight adventure segment? How do you think it will end up with the 490, the 750, the 890, probably at least a 501 and a 901 Husky, and all the others that are coming out? He's saying, what a mess. Who will win and who will lose? And who are all the new owners of these bikes? Dual sport riders, big adventure riders who will go for lighter bikes? What do you think the key features that will make one or more of those coming bikes a commercial success? Well, that's a very difficult question to unpack, as we're talking about maybes and what ifs and not really much hard facts. And I think to look at how the future is going to be, we need to look at the past. So we all remember the big craze into massive adventure bikes when the Africa Twin CRF 1000L came out, the BMW 1250 GS, the Super Tenere, the Triumph Tiger. You know, they all had a big flagship adventure bike, and that was all where the journalists were reporting on and people were buying them up. Now, it's the same thing with this segment here. I see that this is the segment that will heat up. I think the manufacturers will initially do quite well, and it will get more and more competitive like it did in the big adventure bike segment, and we'll see them have to focus more and more on trying to stand apart. And I think that's when we'll see a shift in the market again, because that's what happened with the big adventure bike market. They just ran out of things that they could do to bring buyers in. We're just seeing bold new colors, electronics, and a little bit of tweaks here for the last few years with big adventure bikes. I think we're really in the middle of it with middleweights at the moment. It's quite exciting. We've probably got 3 or 4 years of this segment being very, very exciting, but I think the next obvious segment is going to be the dual sport side of it. They're going to shift focus to trying to shed weight, increase performance, and that's going to make people look at bikes like the KTM 690, the DR650, you know, the WR250R, and maybe they think we can do this a bit better and this is where the money's going to be. So at least that's what I'm hoping, and that's what I think might happen. The other big thing that I think nobody wants to really talk about, but I'm going to bring it up despite the hate speech that I'm going to get, is that electric bikes are coming, and they're probably going to be here quicker than we realize. You only have to look at Tesla and how well they're doing. Certainly the tech isn't quite there with the bikes. I certainly don't feel like I'm prepared to go and get an electric bike at the moment. And I think it's a very hard task to accomplish in the off-road community, particularly because we need such long range and lightweight. And those are two things that electric bikes are struggling with. But at the moment they haven't quite got there, but they are coming fast. All we need is a manufacturer like Tesla to come in, make a great looking motorcycle that just does everything better than the current fuel injected bikes do, and it's all over. So that's where I think we're moving in the short term. Will be obviously this middleweight segment for a couple of years, say 3 to 5. Then we'll see a focus into dual sports more and more, hopefully sooner rather than later. But then after that, I think the real big move will be electric bikes. Love it or hate it, that's where we're heading. So that's my thoughts on that, mate. Thanks for the great question. So the next couple of questions are all on the same topic, so I'm just going to read them both out and then reply to them. So this is regarding my KLR reveal video, where they're revealing their new set of bikes for the 23rd of November, and I speculated about what they possibly could be. So Rich here is saying, so 100% speculation, got it. I'm guessing that's sarcasm. So another comment in a similar vein is from Snozzy Bosch, and he's saying another bullcrap maybe story with all the speculation we've heard before. I think he meant to say we have heard before, and waffle, opinion, and no real substance. Well, Snozzy, I did say to put your tinfoil hat on and that this video was going to be purely speculation. So if you watch after that, then it's kind of your own fault for your disappointment. So there's not really much more to say than that, other than maybe you should listen properly when I'm making a video. I do warn you if it's going to be speculation or whether this is based on proper facts. So the next question is from Finito AM. I think that's how you pronounce it. A common theme of these videos is me mispronouncing all these names, so I do apologize if I butcher your names here, guys. And he's saying whatever it is, it's great manufacturers are heading away from the big 1000cc adventure bikes. I completely agree, mate. The lighter they go, the more happy I am. I'm just hoping they get to single cylinders eventually. He goes, my question is, when will Suzuki follow Yamaha and Kawasaki in updating the DR650 and the DRZ/Z400? Well, that is a fantastic question, and if I could answer that, that would be like answering the mysteries to the universe for dual sporters. We're all hanging out to find out. I think the simple answer is this: Suzuki are waiting for the Euro emission standards to finally kill them before they actually make updates. And let's pray to God that they do actually update it and don't discontinue these bikes. My theory is that they're just too lazy and they don't want to enter the costs of building a brand new dual sport, putting EFI on, changing the compression and all the components and freshening up the bike to pass the Euro emission standards that are currently in place. Now, like I said, I really do hope that when the time does come, Suzuki really do back their dual sport enthusiast buyers and offer us a brand new product with the same spirit and capability that each of those bikes offer, as they're both fantastic bikes. The DRZ and the DR650, I'd love to see EFI, 6 speeds, maybe shed a bit of weight with some more modern parts, and that's about it really. Some more modern suspension, and that would be fantastic. I think that would please a lot of buyers if they did that, but they still haven't, so who knows, we could be waiting forever. So the next comment is from Dave, and he's talking about the potential for a new KLX350S or even a slightly bigger displacement model from Kawasaki on the 23rd of November, which is what I'm really hoping for, although the likelihood of this is very, very slim. So he's saying he wants a WR250R competitor with slightly more power, and that's exactly what I want, mate. So great comment in matching my tastes exactly. I really do hope that Kawasaki make something around the 350cc's, as the Build Blue kit, which is a big bore 350cc kit for the Kawasaki 250S, is absolutely perfect in my opinion, power wise, out of what I want out of the bike. So if they can do that out of a factory big bore kit, so just release it straight at 350cc's, hell, I'd even take 300cc's, just make sure it's 6-speed, EFI, and maybe even try and lose a little bit of weight with some modern parts, like I said, some LED lights perhaps, and a few other lighter, more modern components, and maybe even tweak the suspension to match the capabilities of the WR250R in ground clearance and performance. So if Kawasaki did all those things, then I would be dead down there buying one right now, and I am really hoping they do so. I'm actually quite excited for the 23rd. I think there's about a 0.1% chance that I'll actually get the bike I want, but it's still a chance. As Gandalf said, it's a fool's hope, but it's a hope nonetheless that I have. So I'm hoping, like you, that Kawasaki come to the table. So sticking with this kind of unicorn scenario, as I often like to talk about, we've got a comment here from Walter Con. He said, "My mind is blown from the unicorn possibilities here from Kawasaki. I enjoyed reading the comments about the 300 to 450s with long service intervals. I wonder what the price range would be on it. I am trying not to get my hopes up." Me too, mate, but I'm failing miserably at the moment, and me replying to this comment is probably not helping that. Kawasaki did make this unicorn bike in the 300 to 450 cc's with adequate suspension, 6 speeds, and light enough to pick up regularly in tight single track. Well, I think you probably should expect this bike to be from around $9,500 to $12,000. At least that's my guess as to how they could do it, with making it cheap enough to afford, but not so cheap that you regret buying it and have to fix everything on it. So I hope that answers your question. Like you, I really am hoping that Kawasaki come to the table here. So the last comment is from Charles White 64, and this is just a really nice comment. "You made my day, mate." It's a really kind comment. He goes, "Your vids are awesome. Your content is freshly relevant. Your speech is measured and clear, while being maturely cadenced with real facts, or at least educated, logical speculation." Thanks, mate. That's what I really try to go with. I either do videos that are based heavily in facts of what the manufacturers have noted, or I do warn viewers that this is speculation. But when I do that speculation, I really do try to think it through, all the possibilities, and go through the scenarios. So I'm glad you have picked that up. So thanks, mate. He goes, "This compliments the listener's intelligence. Thank you, cheers, stay safe and awesome." Thanks, mate. I'm glad you picked all that up. I really do try to speak to people as intelligent beings. Not everyone in the comment section obviously matches that expectation, but I really do try to create education, and a lot of you guys know far more about motorcycles than I do, and that's what makes this community so great. Is if I'm not exactly clear on something, you guys always correct me down in the comments, and it allows me to spread the word to the newer riders in future videos. So we've got a fantastic community here. You're one of them, mate. Thanks for that great comment. So that about wraps up this video, guys. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. I do apologize if I didn't get to your question. Until next time, guys, don't forget to stay shiny side up, and I'll see you in the next video. Catch you later.